As a postscript to this routing tutorial, I just want to show you how you can bring in Bootstrap into Angular just to make things look a little bit nicer if you decide you prefer to work in a kind of Angular framework rather than an Ionic framework, because still both can be used for creating mobile apps. Let's to do that, I'm going to consult briefly this really nice thing, javaguides.net 2019-06, how to add Bootstrap to Angular 8. Okay, so if Bootstrap 3 you've got this command, or Bootstrap 4 you've got this command. So if we go into, make sure you're in the folder, which is your kind of the folder for your project, and I'm just going to copy the command there for installing Bootstrap 4. So I'll copy that, and I'll put that here, npm install Bootstrap. So what that should do now is kind of download and put into the assets tree, which I'll just show you is where is it? There it is, look, assets. It's going to be putting into that assets tree basically things relating to Bootstrap. Okay, so basically it's added Bootstrap 4.41. It's got a few security vulnerabilities. I won't deal with them right yet at the moment. Okay, but what should be is that underneath assets, I think it's there. Maybe it isn't. No, maybe it's somewhere else. But then we should have Bootstrap installed. And how can I do that? Well, if I again go back to the thing explaining how to do it, this is the thing I would use is you add an extra line to styles. Well, currently styles within angular.json, which is a sort of configuration project file for your project. In angular.json, you should have this already built in. It says there's a kind of master style sheet called styles.css. What you should have is a thing here, node modules bootstrap disk. So yeah, so I was expecting it to be in assets. It's not. It's in node modules. So let's just copy this line here, and if I go now back to here, let's look where find the angular.json file here. So here's angular.json. Okay, and if you scroll down, there's these styles which we mentioned. So currently it's an array, but it's only got one thing in it, which is search styles.css. So we're going to put in a comma, and we're going to put in a quote, and there is for some reason it's double quoted. I don't know why. So let's just put in a single quote there and a single quote here. So that's styles added into our thing. Now notice there it's got scripts at the moment. It's got no scripts associated. So let's go to the tutorial or instruction page here, and we're going to just copy these two lines here, node modules jQuery, because Bootstrap is built on top of jQuery as well. So I'm just going to copy those. I'm going to go now into the scripts section of angular.json. Okay, and if I put those in there and save, let's kind of do that and save, and let's now go to the kind of Angular. Let's serve it. So ng serve. It shouldn't make much of a difference at the moment because we haven't put in any particular Bootstrap classes, everything. All we should notice is that the file should look slightly nicer because we should have kind of sans serif fonts for those files. So we're just doing ng serve here. It should just waiting for it to compile. However, having compiled it and then not working properly, I realized there's one other thing that I also needed to add, which is to install jQuery and Popper.js. So I did the first command there, npm install bootstrap, npm I, which also means install, jQuery and Popper.js. So I forgot to mention those two, so therefore without doing those two it wouldn't have worked. So if you follow my tutorial, make sure you install this second line here, and if you do manage to install that, let's go back to the browser, and we just do now ng serve. You'll notice when it does eventually compile, which you should be doing right now. eventually, when you look at it in the browser, you'll see now it looks properly like a bootstrap kind of application. It's not. I've not used any of the typical bootstrap code at the moment, but that will mean you'll have access to all the bootstrap libraries.